Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be exploring the horrifying story of the mortician who found a dead body in the morgue that was not there the day before. If you love stories like this, then be sure to stay tuned. Let's get into it. Our first story is about a mortuary worker in St. Louis. In the early 90s, a man began working at a well-established funeral home in downtown St. Louis. He'd always been interested in funeral services, so after finishing high school, he went straight into working for this establishment. After 1 month of being employed, he was moved to work in the morgue, which was located in the basement of the funeral home. Now, he was told that this was just a temporary move, but in reality, it was permanent. It was about 10 o'clock one night when he heard some shuffling coming from the corner of the room. He was sitting at the stainless steel desk, reading through the paperwork for the next day. When he looked up, he saw a human skull slowly rolling across the cold, hard floor. It was coming closer and closer until it was right at his feet. At this point, it stopped. And the young man sat there for a moment, frozen with fear. He worked alone most nights, but this was the first time that he'd ever heard or seen anything like this. Eventually, the sound started again, and the skull began to move away from him. After it had gone far enough, he regained his composure and decided to investigate. The source of the noise, he got out of his seat and walked over to where the skull had been sitting. Once he was close enough, he could hear the scratching of the object on the concrete floor. As he got closer, he realized that the skull was attached to something else. A rat had somehow gotten itself stuck inside the brain cavity. This caused the unnatural movement and facial expressions. This would explain why the skull had been moving toward him, because it was trying to escape the confines of the box it had been placed in. He figured that the rat must have gotten into the box earlier in the day, and when the corpse was moved to the morgue, the animal followed along. Once it became clear what was happening, the man swiftly picked up the box and moved it back to its original location. He wanted to wait until morning to deal with the rat. But shortly after he returned to his desk, the shuffling noise started once more. The sound seemed to be coming from the very same box. Looking back, he knew that whatever was inside had moved again. It was now 11 p.m., and the young man knew he had to do something. What if there was a snake or some other kind of animal? Inside, he needed to find out. He took a deep breath, trying to steady his nerves, and opened the lid of the box. To his surprise, the rat had managed to claw its way out and was now dangling from the side of the box. With a swift kick, he sent the rodent back into the cavity. Finally, the commotion ceased. He closed the lid and locked it in place. Then he called the police to come and collect the box. They arrived quickly and took it away. The next day, they came back with news that the animal had been identified as a rat. They also stated that there was no way an animal could have gotten into the cavity without help. This confused the man, because he had seen it happen the night before. The authorities suggested that he might have been mistaken and that the skull had simply fallen out of the box, causing him to imagine the rest. Despite their skepticism, he insisted that he had seen what he had described. The police left and the man continued with his work. He never saw the rat or the skull move again. However, he did notice that from time to time, the boxes would move slightly. It almost felt as if someone was playing a trick on him. He would come into work and find the lids of the boxes open, as if someone had been looking through them during the night. He couldn't understand why anyone would do this. It wasn't like they could help the dead. He still wonders to this day whether he really did see what he thought he did. Perhaps a rat really did crawl inside the cavity and somehow made its way out again. Maybe it was a dream and none of it really happened. Either way, he'll never forget that terrifying night in the morgue. Now for our second story, the Georgetown Morgue Massacre. There is a building in Seattle, Washington that carries with it a lot of scary history. The Georgetown Morgue was built in 1912. Since then, it's been the site of tragedy and death. Some say it's haunted by those who died here, while others claim that there are evil spirits within its walls. The structure is located at 315 11th Avenue South. It has a fascinating past that many are drawn to. For a long time, the building served as a morgue for the King County Medical Examiner's Office. It's rumored that the building was used to house bodies from 1912 until the 1980s. However, the facility ceased operations around 1968. That year, an incident occurred that sent shockwaves through the community and left many questions unanswered. On May 16, 1968, it's believed that 9 people were murdered within the walls of the Georgetown Morgue. Reports indicate that these individuals were employees of the facility. Their names were William T. Davis, Arthur J. Davis, Leroy Brooks, Geraldine Newman, Margaret M. McDougall, Helen M. Schaefer, Marjorie L. Jackson, Frank D. Israel, and Leonard S. Clark. These 9 people were allegedly taken hostage by 3 masked gunmen. They were bound with electrical cords and forced into the crematorium. 1 employee managed to escape, but the remaining 8 were killed. The motive behind the horrific crime remains unclear, and the case has garnered significant attention over the years. Despite the gravity of the event, official records pertaining to the incident are scarce. This has fueled speculation and theories, but concrete answers remain elusive. The lack of comprehensive documentation has only added to the mystery surrounding the Georgetown Morgue massacre. Today, the building stands as a reminder of the tragic events that unfolded there. The former morgue now operates as a haunted attraction, drawing curious visitors and thrill seekers alike. Those who explore the premises are eager to experience the eerie atmosphere and learn more about the chilling history. It's important to note that the details surrounding the incident are often embellished and sensationalized. Many stories claim that the murders occurred in the basement of the funeral home overlooking the tracks of the infamous Soto. However, there is no evidence to support these claims. Furthermore, there are inconsistencies in the accounts of survivors. Some versions mention that the victims were burned in the furnace, while others state that they were found in a separate area. The discrepancies make it difficult to piece together a clear picture of what transpired. It's possible that the rumors and legends have overshadowed the actual events, creating a distorted narrative. Over the years, various paranormal investigators have explored the site, hoping to uncover more information about the alleged haunting. They have conducted interviews with witnesses and attempted to document any unusual activity. However, their findings have been inconclusive. Some investigators claim that the energy within the building is heavy and that certain areas feel particularly oppressive. They have reported hearing strange noises and experiencing sudden temperature drops, which they attribute to the presence of restless spirits. Others believe that the site may be cursed, citing the numerous tragic events that have occurred there. The combination of violence, death, and alleged paranormal activity has made the Georgetown Morgue a popular destination for ghost hunters and those seeking a good scare. Many have shared their experiences online, recounting the spine-tingling encounters they've had within the building's confines. The stories serve as both a warning and a draw, enticing curious visitors to explore the site for themselves. It's important to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. While the Georgetown Morgue undoubtedly holds a dark and violent history, the extent of the haunting remains uncertain. In conclusion, the Georgetown Morgue Massacre of 1968 is a chilling event that has left an indelible mark on Seattle's history. The brutal murder of 8 employees shocked the community and raised questions that continue to linger today. The lack of comprehensive official records has allowed rumors and speculation to flourish, creating a distorted narrative that blurs the line between fact and fiction. While paranormal investigators and enthusiasts have explored the site, their findings remain inconclusive. The building's reputation as a haunted attraction has grown, drawing those seeking a thrilling experience. However, it's essential to approach such claims with skepticism. The true nature of the haunting at the Georgetown Morgue remains a mystery, shrouded in the shadows of its violent past. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave us a comment down below. We'll see you next time.